And this was interesting because this was our real first look at this new iteration of Sung. The I got my hair cut at an actual barber this time and not a supercuts type of Sung. And it was just one thing after another, because obviously we're in a snow biome. So then Sung takes his team, goes into his inventory, and here goes some designer coats for y'all. So him distributing his swag amongst the group, I mean, this is prime lounge behavior, and you just love to see it. And I feel like once he had that coat on, he just started moving different, because we saw him take out the Polar Bear squad and immediately without second thought drafted that nigga to the Legion. And it's just like, I feel like him with the coat in the snow with Igris by his side, giving him those extra aura points, like it was a lot of power to be wielded at one time. But I feel like this was also necessary to combat against Baruka and his upcoming YNism. And then we eventually get to this one-on-one Baruka. And they were doing what you do before every fight. They were just chatting their shit, talking about which one of their willies has a more serious curve to it. You know, just the normal prerequisites to every fight, I feel like. And Baruka was having his boy explain how he was able to like sniff Sung out initially and assess his power level. Doesn't matter because Sung didn't let that nigga finish. He decapitated that fraud and was sitting here posing with his dagger like he was doing a Wisdom K fit check. And I would say that this was getting ugly, but this was quite the opposite, because the shit that Sung was doing, I'm not gonna say I was rock solid off of it, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. Like, as he's fighting Baruka and as he eventually recruits Tryndamere to the Lightskin Legion, we see this fight get a bit more serious. So yeah, they start jumping this fool, and it is just like a beautiful display. And the moment that we see now is quite arguably one of the most notable instances of unnecessary swagger, not even just in this show, dare I say in all of anime. Because when Baruka is having his whole monologue saying that he's gonna eradicate everyone off the face of the earth, one, Sung doesn't even let him finish that thought. He sticks a dagger in his liver. That's number one. Number two, he then has Tryndamere resurrect from the shadows of his light skin abyss. Cock that shit back. Watching this shit over, there are so many different ways he could have went about this to seem like less of a dickhead, but he knew that the camera was going to be positioned here to where we would see him put his hands in his pocket, walk away as slow as he did, and he wanted us to know that he knows that he's that nigga. Like, I'm sure the way Sung was feeling here is similar to the way I was feeling back in elementary school when I used to bring McDonald's to the lunch table, as everyone's eating sludge and slop, and I've got a sizzling hot 10-piece McNugget with a medium fry because my mother wouldn't let me get a large at the time. Like, I'm not joking when I say this. Up until this point in Soul Level, I have never once seen in any show I've ever watched, I've never seen a nigga get done this dirty, to the point where it's making me, the viewer, angry for the villain. I would hate to be this guy. But I mean, aside from Baruka's emotions and how he feels, I feel like the way Sung went about this was the exact type of performance that we're looking for in the lounge. There was the flexing on your enemy. There was the donating the drip to your coworkers. There was the hitting the look during the mid